Very close to reaching equality targets. I thought it would stop before, and I think it is now. I put some positions on last night that were early. I'm staying with them. So I'm looking for a turn in the dollar. In fact, the strongest currency out there is, of course, euro. Liking it from 102. I think there could be a pretty good setback in the euro. Let's look at it right now. So we made new highs. The divergence isn't great because it comes above 80, but it could be a three. I just see this as a real crowded trade now and see the possibility that no one has a reason to buy the dollar, just like no one had a reason to sell the dollar when, euro was down here. So one of the clues here in euro, which is one of them that I did not get stopped out at, I'm short from 1474. Haven't added on yet, but I'm going to stay with it. I think that there's potential for us to work all the way back down towards this breakout here, maybe as deep as 110.50 or so. That's a pretty good break in the dollar. So short euro. Aussie has been the weakness throughout the rally. If you may not be able to tell by looking at a 4 hour, but check out a daily. And compared to the euro, it was really laid out the gate. So here's Aussie, here's euro, uptrending big, uh, cable uptrending big. Aussie struggling, not even over its 200 days. So I think between here and there, we put in some type of high and then start buying the Aussie on a pullback towards 62. So the yen also, I'm down 50 on the yen. I'm going to hold it. We're right back at major support at this 140 level, and breakdowns under 140, of course, are going to look real ugly on the weekly. Although sometimes you could just get a stab underneath that level, but not close underneath that level. But a perfect place for the end to find some strength, especially since yields are heading up right now. It's not like there's a flight to quality in bonds yet, and I'll talk about S&Ps in a minute. So why couldn't we have a rally back after a big break? This is almost 1,700 pips. Why can't we rally back to 45, 46? There you go, 46. All right, so like that too. Dixie, here's what I'm talking about of us almost reaching equality on the weekly. I have to move myself out of it. It goes back to the highs that we had in 22, where we went from 114 to par in a hurry. That's 1,400 handles. From here, it would be 96. But it's my contention that we're going to get just a bounce first, okay? Back towards par 101, and then finish it off with equality down around the 96 handle. So, of course, this is counter trend, and we get this for a four and then finish it off at 96, which would have exact equality as this. And then this will either end the first wave down of three in the dollar, which is a big dollar move, big de-dollarization, where we're going to, levels like 85, 80. I've even seen them lower than that. Or for dollar bulls, this could just be one big A, B, C, and there's going to be another run to the upside. I know there are some dollar bulls out there. So that's the way that looks. And, part of the reason in the euro that it did not make new highs, euro pound, with the euro making new highs, this just looks corrective. And it looks like we could trade off to 84.50, which makes euro your preferred short over cable. So those are the currencies right here. Taking a look at just a phenomenal run in gold. We're confirming on the, or at least close to confirming here. And silver is still struggling, even though it's up 30 cents. They look like two different markets. You know, I, I didn't think gold would do this. I'm not surprised that silver has done what it has done and dragged. Look at this. We're getting another chance or maybe another shot in this range up here on the gold silver ratio. We'll see. But I feel like I have more conviction on what's happening with currencies and what to do with metals. I will say this, with this kind of rally that we're having in gold over the last week or so, and I know the miners have done pretty well. Just take a look at Newmont here. It looks like we're going to form a three drive, and GDX looks like we're there too, and diverging. So I know there have been some false signals, but keep in mind I was right once on a counter trend move when Newmont slammed. So I think we're pretty stretched even on the miners here. So, especially, I have to think that if they've been thriving with the weak dollar, if we're starting to get more of a two-sided trade to the dollar, which I think starts this week, that there could be at least some profit taking in the metals. So we have risk off in the market, and with that, we're getting a pullback in WTI, even though we had this breakout at 62. So far, we're holding it. We'll see if we're going to hold this breakout. I do want to point out, look at S&Ps here. They're at 5,200. So if you want to compare like a dollar crisis, it tends to be to me looks like it's buoying stock prices. Weak dollar uh, can help everything nominally, but look at the S&Ps, pretty 400 points above its April low. Where look at the dollar, this was the April low. We've taken it out by a lot. So what isn't performing with the weak dollar? And yes, you're right, it's TLT. So we'll see. We could be on the verge of, if it holds here, maybe they could have a rally, but it looks like they want 85, and we have under 85, we have a problem, Houston, because that opens uh, all kinds of problems for the bond market because it's held so many times that there could be pretty good acceleration if we take it out. So let's just take a quick look at some of the sectors, see how they're holding up. Again, we got a breakout in Bitcoin. Check it out. We're right there. Last week, and in some interviews I did, I said Bitcoin held up like a champ. Said that with Luke too when I interviewed him, that compared to equities, it acted great, and we're on the verge right here over 88 of taking out this downtrend line. So that'll make new highs pretty likely. So Bitcoin really showing itself. You know, it's different when everything's going up. But to me, when markets can hold up under adverse market conditions and heavy headwinds, which is what happened with the liquidity coming out of Qs and the Mag 7, you have to say that this has been much less violent to the downside, almost looks corrective. I can't find any impulsive waves. So I'm not a hodler, but technically Bitcoin looks pretty good. So I'll see everyone in the room. I have a great interview this week. Christian Fromhertz is going to be with us on Wednesday at 10:30. Hope everyone had a good holiday. Don't give up. I think that there's going to be a pretty good break in euro and a nice pop recovery in the dollar back towards par, maybe even try and fill this gap up here. And then one more flush, and then even a bigger correction after that. So those are my calls. I'll see you in the room. That's where I post trading calls, and I'll be looking to add on to some of my underwater positions tomorrow. I'll let today finish and see if we get any follow through tomorrow. But do think that there's a very good possibility that the euro may have put in its high up here at 1570. So keep an eye on that. And the same laws, he could push a little bit more. But the Dixie, you know, the divergence on the daily isn't great, but it is a bear market. But on the 4 hour, uh, nowadays, divergence at 20, it's not great again. But I do think we could squeeze people back to 100 here. Counter trend. So keep that in mind. You don't trade as heavy against a trend as you do with it. And I'll see everyone tomorrow. Good hunting.